Hey, welcome back to Upsins Ramen Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. As always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are we good?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm glad we're good.
Hey, this week we're talking about Non Biyori. Those of you that don't know, it's some fucking anime shit, and it's slice of life, and we'll talk about that later. Ask me how I've been. Again.
Hey, Trip, how you been?
Hey, I've been pretty good. How are you?
Good. You got anything to talk about?
Nope.
Nothing on your mind?
No, let's just get into the topic for this week.
Okay, let's just get into the topic.
Or actually, man, I worked today.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And working, you interact with people usually.
Yeah, that happens, yeah.
Well, in my job, I manage some apartments for people that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had this person on our wait list for a while that lives here. They just wanted a 2-bedroom. And they were difficult through nearly every single process of everything that we've ever done with them. But not in a way where it's like, no, fuck you guys. It's in a way where it's like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought this, isn't it this? And she's like trying to be like smarter than us. And we're like, no. Yeah, it's all good. Like, wait, what? And she says that a whole bunch, right? So anyways, we offered her this apartment and we said, hey, get back to us over the weekend on Saturday. If you don't let us know anything by Saturday, we're going to offer the apartment to somebody else. She didn't let us know anything by Saturday. Fortunately for her, there weren't enough notes written down in the places where we're supposed to have things written down. So I didn't know that the offer wasn't ended on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, she comes in on Sunday and I'm like, oh yeah, totally good. Like all this stuff's totally fine, which is good. We still want the apartment rented. We want all this to happen. So we're happy to help her out still. She came in, she said she wants it. So I gave her the paperwork and she's like, Kate said I didn't have to fill out any of this. And I'm like, nah, man, like my boss wouldn't have told you that you don't have to fill out the stuff that literally everybody has to fill out.
Because that would be a lie.
Yeah, there's a lot of legal reasons we need you to fill this out.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to. And she's like, but I was told that I didn't though. And I'm like, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to tell you what each thing does and what it's for and what to fill out specifically, tell you every detail about it. And then tomorrow you could come into the office. Kate's going to be here and you could talk to her about it. Or you could give us a call if you're not able to make it in. She's like, I'll come in tomorrow then. I'm like, all right, great. Sounds good. Fucking see you later. She comes in today, 20 minutes before we close. She waits until the last minute, which is all good. And we were just waiting because we needed that paperwork back in order to actually give her this place. Mm-hmm. So she shows up and she's like, so here's everything. Bye. And I'm like, no, hang on. We need to make sure that everything's good really quick and we'll be fine with it. And we're like, okay, so the apartment's ready on September 5th. You put that you're moving out on September 18th. Do you want those 13 days or was that a mistake? She's like, you said it was ready on the 18th though. And we're like, no, we've only said September 5th. That's the only date that's been written anywhere. September 5th is the date it will be ready. And she's like, oh, okay. And we're like, okay, so do you want to change the date? And she's like, no, why? And we're like,
because then you have to pay rent for both places.
Yeah. And then we explained that to her and she's like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that. And we're like, all right, cool. So what day do you want to move out? And she's like, well, it's on the 18th, right?
Oh my God.
And it just kept going. And we're like,
yeah.
The apartment will be ready on September 5th. What day do you want to move out? And she's like, well, then I guess on the 5th. And we're like, you're going to do everything that day? Normally people will give themselves about 3 days. Do you want just to move on that day? She's like, no, I don't want to move on that day. And we're like, okay. So
you're like trying not to strangle her. You're like, okay.
And she's like, what day is the apartment ready? And we're like, September 5th. And she's like, okay. When should I move out? And we're like, it's up to you. Anybody has a different choice. Right now you put September 18th. She's like, so it is the 18th. She fucking tries to call us out. We're like,
you put down the paper 18th because that's when you wanted to leave. The apartment's ready on the 5th.
This is a woman in her 30s.
Oh my God.
She's an esthetician.
Do they do beauty stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
More or less. And she's the dumbest person I've ever met.
Sounds
She
like
said she lost recently. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or so. She said that she lost jewelry. Her neighbor came in and said, "Hey, yeah, my neighbor said that she lost some jewelry in her washing machine. Sounds like some kind of a gem must have fallen off of her jewelry, and she was hoping that you guys might be able to take care of it." I'm like, "Yeah, totally, but like she needs to tell us. We need to have permission from her." And then she calls and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I heard that like a crystal or gem or something fell down there." And she's like, "No, it's just jewelry." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I can send my maintenance over to go and check it out." But at this point I'm like, okay, everybody who's ever used a washing machine knows that the holes in there are not big enough for like a piece of jewelry to go down really. So I'm thinking it must be some thin ass chain that went down there or something like that. 'Cause she just said it was jewelry and she wouldn't tell me more. She like didn't want me to know what it was so that I wouldn't be like, hey maintenance, go steal it. Like
they're looking for this, take that.
So anyways, maintenance goes over there and he's like, "All right, so what am I looking for here?" She's like, "I lost a ring." And he's like,
"How?
A ring would not fit in this hole that's like smaller than a dime?"
Yeah.
There's no possible way. You don't have fingers that small. Nobody has fingers that small. That's impossible. Is that what it is? She's like, "Just take it all apart." And he's like, "Look, I need to take this back to my shop in order to do that. I can't do it in your apartment. It'll take at least 4 hours. It's a very big thing.
Are you sure you want me to open this bitch
And she's
up?"
like, you're just saying that because like you don't know what you're doing. And he's like, "Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me right now?"
She said that to him?
Yeah. Wow. She is the dumbest, most entitled person. She tries to call us out on shit. And we're like, "Can you listen for a fucking second here? You put the wrong information on all this. You said you're moving out of the apartment you're moving into. You said that you're moving on all the wrong dates." And that was like the last thing that happened today. And all of us are just like, after she left, nobody said anything, but we all just stood there just looking at nothing, just trying to process how somebody could think this way, how somebody could... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just blew me away.
I would have loved it if, like, your boss is just sitting there after hearing all this, and all the people leaving. She just gives out a big fuck. Like, really,
dude? Yeah, no, that's the way it feels though, because people think that we're trying to take advantage of them. Because I mean, of course, you hear about all the worst cases. And fortunately for us, our company doesn't try to take advantage of people. We give people clean ass apartments when they move in. And the most upset that people get is when we're like, "Yeah, it took our cleaners this long to clean it, so this is how much came out of your deposit." And they're like, "You're just trying to fucking steal money from me. I left it spotless." And we're like, no, like, honestly, if you left it spotless, our cleaners wouldn't have done anything. We would have still cleaned the carpets, but that's it.
Yeah.
Because the carpets should be clean. And people throw fits. That's like the most that we do, that we're scamming people, is cleaning the fuck out of their apartment. Long story short.
I mean, when it comes to that, some people just don't know how to clean. Like,
there's
people who just go, I put Windex on it and whatever. I use a Clorox wipe. They go, "Yeah, that's not it though. There needs to be like, you need to mop and broom and sweep and like fucking get the fucking cobwebs and the dust." My mom used to clean houses and stuff, and she used to do like hotels also. Yeah, and so growing up, my house was like always spotless because she liked to keep like a really clean home. And then I'd go to other people's houses and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's not that dirty." And I'd look around like, "Oh my God, it's fucking..."
Like, yeah, no, it is though.
It's fucking mayhem in here. They're like, "Yeah." They go, "Don't mind my room." I go, "It's a little messy." And I go, my mom would fucking kill me if I was in this room now. Dude, that sucks. That's a bummer that you have to deal with such a dumb person.
It cracks me up though. It blows me away. I don't know how to think about it, but I love that that's something that happens. At this point, though, I'm dreading what's going to happen when she moves out, when we're explaining, "Okay, you didn't do any cleaning like you said that you weren't going to do because you trusted our cleaners. There's going to be like 20 hours of cleaning in here because you didn't do shit and you've never cleaned this place." I feel like she's going to throw a fit, but she's not going to know why she is. She's just going to know, "I don't understand. I'm mad."
I can't.
It's like
wait.
a toddler.
When that happens, I please let me know what her.
Oh yeah, I'll keep you up to date. That'll be in like a month.
So she live by herself or something? Her boyfriend?
Yeah. No, she lives alone. She's in a 1-bedroom. She wants to move to a 2-bedroom because she has a lot of shit. I don't know how she has the money to do all this, being as fucking dumb that she is. And like, I don't go around just calling any old person dumb. I wouldn't call them out on a podcast if they were just like, making mistakes, being kind of goofy, whatever. This is the dumbest person I think I've ever met who's gotten this far in their life.
Wow.
Met a lot of entitled, stupid, weird people at Starbucks. This is like a different kind.
Level.
I'm not used to it.
I mean, it just goes to show you that, every day you there's just things out there that can surprise you.
Yeah, we stray further from God's light every day, you know?
Praise be to him.
So anyways, that's been fucking rad. Other than that, I set up I finished getting my office kind of like together this week. Sierra took the rest of her shit from this room over to your guys' place or wherever the hell she put it. I don't actually know.
I don't know where it is. Yeah.
But so I got my fucking wall art in here, my little canvas stuff for Nier Automata, Donkey Kong Country, and Monster Hunter World. They look pretty nerdy classy. That's what I go for, you know?
It's like nerdy chic. Like, oh, that's a nice it's fucking video game shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like a normal person wouldn't know. Yeah, not right away.
You'd have to like look at it because I was looking at them earlier. I was like, oh, and I was like, it's like a jungle, and I go, oh, I see Donkey Kong.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah, and I was like,
at first glance, it just looks like a nice little jungle scene because it's really busy where all the jungle stuff is, and then Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, just kind of chill in the background.
They're like the smallest parts of the whole thing. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I don't know where that shit went. I'm assuming she either threw it out or like took it to like the storage, her storage or something. Yeah, because some of the things did come over, but not like everything. That's cool. I'm also setting up my office also.
Ooh, how's yours coming along?
It's coming along. The only thing I'm waiting for is a bookshelf that should be in on Wednesday.
All right.
That way you can get off all the books that are on the ground in a shelf. And
nice.
They're not
Smart.
just like laying in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I've been there, man.
Yeah, I've set up this like whiteboard, corkboard that I've been fucking so excited to get.
Week 3 of Juan talking about it on the podcast.
So stoked for this whiteboard, corkboard. And I wrote on the whiteboard today and it was like the things I'm going to do. And I did some check marks and stuff. I did some pins on the cork. I mean, it felt good, man. I was adulting.
Oh, shit. That's nuts. Yeah. Some good old fashioned adulting.
Also, I cleaned my desktop on my Mac for the first time in since the semester started.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so gross, man. There was just so much vile, everything was so disorganized. There was just, I'm like, why did I save this? Why do I have 3 copies of this one thing?
Ooh, that sounds rough.
Yeah, so I was just deleting stuff left and right and organizing it. And
every once in a while I do stuff like that. Fortunately, on my computer now, it's like 3 icons and 50 podcast episodes. Like right now, mine's pretty easy to tidy up. But
the podcast episode, I just throw them in a folder. Go, there you go. Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Don't ever look at them ever again. So I've been doing that. I've been cleaning that up. Like I said, doing stuff figuring out what projects I'm going to do this month. There's this. I remember I told you about the animation group I'm a part of on Facebook. I was talking about the guy who was drawing some weird. I showed you his stuff. Yeah,
the older guy who was doing magic and was doing very crude, not crude as in inappropriate.
It's not very
but crude as in
like very rudimentary.
Very
he posted something the other day. Actually, he was talking. He was like, it was like a big old paragraph, and then it was really oddly spelt and worded and stuff. But essentially boiled down to, hey, what's the best lightboard to use to animate? And a lightboard's it's imagine it like it's like a small thing you use, that light projects from the bottom. You can use it to flip pages back and forth. So
light bright.
Yeah, but for animators, right?
Yeah.
People don't really use those anymore, just because a lot of 2D traditional animation is also
that's old school Disney.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah,
new school Disney would never even use that. Like Princess and the Frog didn't even use it.
No, I mean they do pen and paper stuff, but it also gets just put into the computer and then they do it there.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's like, hey guys, what's the best lightboard to get? I found one on Amazon for $16 or whatever. I want a Wacom tablet, which is like a drawing tablet that you can use to animate and stuff, which I have or whatever.
It's for computers, yeah.
He goes, the cheapest one is $77. He goes, so, and I can't really afford that right now. So I'm just going to settle for the light fucking, lightboard or whatever. And then he goes, something other shit, jibber jabber. And I kind of read it and I go, this is really hectic. I don't understand what the question is, right? And then someone just it's this massive paragraph saying stuff like, okay, man, he tries to
break it down.
Yeah, break down what he was like, I'm not sure what you're asking, because at one point you're saying, what's a good one? But you also said, you want a cheap one because you can't afford, a good one because $77 is too much for a Wacom tablet. Like, also, why do you need a Lightboard versus Wacom tablet? And that like
they're like two totally different beasts.
Exactly, it's like they're different things. And like he's like, what you need, and he said, if you're doing this, you're gonna need that. If you need this, do that. Like, and it's like, honestly, what you really need, like, if you really want to be an animator, get some fucking books or whatever, and start learning. Get some tutorials and stuff. Like, just start learning the fundamentals before you try to like invest into stuff. I mean,
yeah.
And the guy responds, he goes, like, I can't afford the Wacom tablet right now. I have money for the Lightboard. I want to start doing, like he said, 2D mock-ups and like storyboard stuff, and then eventually move my project to digital. So that's why I'm going to need the Wacom tablet eventually. And then someone was like, you don't need a Lightboard at all to do any storyboards. You can. That's
what I'm thinking right here. I'm like, whoa, he must have the most advanced storyboards in the universe then.
And at that point, like,
his animation is not at that level where he would, And
at that point, it was like, cool, why is your storyboard need to move? Like, because I get onion skinning is a thing where like you can see like the progression of stuff like over over time. And that's like, he's like, I need the onion skin, and that's why I'm using the Lightboard right now. And he goes like, if you're doing a storyboard, all you need is like really simple thumbnails, arrows directing things. You don't actually need anything to physically move, like, even if you're doing an animatic, you might use a Lightboard for that. But honestly, he's like, you might as well just wait and get a fucking Wacom tablet. Anyways, I digress. This guy's still there. I get a kick out of him for some reason. But this month's project, because every month they do a challenge, this month's challenge is Spider-Man or whatever. It's 10 seconds. It has to be a minimum 10 seconds. Has to be something relevant to Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Last month's was Ninja Dodge or Dodging Ninja or something like that. Or no, I think it was like Rookie Ninja or something like that.
Okay.
And some pretty good ones, some really bad ones. And I was like, oh, cool. If that's like the scale, like if between like good and then just, dog shit. Cool.
Yeah.
I fall in between. I can absolutely do this.
Yeah, you got this.
So this month I'm working on, that's one of my projects, to do this Spider-Man animation or whatever.
Nice.
And I've been looking at references and stuff because a lot of Spider-Man things are like acrobatics. And I was like, cool, I'll just try to find someone doing a cool flip and maybe copy that and use a Spider-Man rig because I don't want to, it's only 10 seconds. 10 seconds, even though it can be a lot of work, it's also like, you don't want to overthink something and be like, cool, I'm going to fucking work super hard. Like, no, it's 10 seconds, break it down, do your work. So I'm doing that. I'm also working on this other project, on this, actually a 2D project.
Okay.
With this other software that I only barely got a chance to work with when I was, I think, my second semester at Chico State. And then we dove really heavy into like 3D stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I have to put this to the side because, there's no real like use for it right now.
Yeah, sure.
But now I'm like, cool, I'm out of college. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
So what the fuck are you doing?
A buddy of mine did some, he did like these little comic strips, whatever. And they're pretty funny, I think. He was I want to say he was a game programmer. Like that was his major. And then after I think maybe 2 or 3 semesters, after 2 semesters, he dropped their major and changed to Japanese was his major. And then by the 3rd semester, he just dropped out of college.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember this guy. Yeah, you talked about his comics once.
Really eccentric dude. Really funny. Now he's like really into music and he likes to like doodle and stuff. Anyways, he drew these comics that I think were like really like, I thought they were funny. And like the character designs weren't like too crazy. And I'm like, cool. I asked if I could have them. And I said like, hey, if I ever get around to like practicing, could I animate these? And then I'll just like write that, created by, or, they're not created, original story by or whatever shit like that. Like give him his credit or whatever. And he said, yeah, dude, do whatever you want. Just like if you ever make anything with it. It's like, cool. So I think I'm going to start dissecting those and working on like maybe just animating one and see where that goes. Cause he gave me like 7 or 8. And I was looking at some of like, these are pretty good. I was like, this one's going to be really hard. And I go, okay, cool. When I look at like, is this one simpler? That's kind of hard too. And I kind of like, oh, I could do that one. That one's not that bad,
Nice.
Yeah. So that's an overarching, like a longer project I want to do. But right now, like the Spider-Man thing's like the first thing. And yeah, I just kind of trying to get back into the motions of like working on my stuff.
Good, productive. Yeah.
Yeah. I played a lot of 2K recently.
You talked a little bit about that.
There's a guy who on Facebook sent something saying like, hey man, I heard you have a PlayStation 4. Add me to like your thing. And I replied saying like, yo, dude, I do have a PlayStation 4. It's true. I mean, but I don't actually play online games.
It's true.
I don't even know how I would start.
No, you just speed run.
I just speedrun, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it. I had 2K for about a week and a half, and I fucking did it. Trip, I'm the fucking champion of the world. I won the fucking ring. And then after
Look at you.
And after doing that, I was like, and they're like, cool. Start the next season. And I go, oh, this is the whole game? Oh, it's kind of boring.
Yeah. That's the way most sports games go. It's like you just really have to like that gameplay.
That gameplay, yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing again and again. But it's like,
so
yeah.
I think what happened is I'm over it. Like I'm not like done completely with that video game. Like I think I'll play a game less than like today. I said usually I would wake up, walk the dog, and like play a couple games or whatever. Today I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna play 2K at all today, and if I do, it's not gonna be till night because I want to get stuff done. I also started reading another like this book, so it's an animation book. It's boring.
Sweet.
It's boring as fuck, but
Hey man, you're learning though.
yeah, but
that's awesome.
But I'm doing stuff that's like I feel like it's like productive, and I watch some anime. So
What? That's dope.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Honestly, I feel like my week's been pretty like chill, mellow. Like I have nothing to brag about. No, I don't have anything amazing like a really dumb fucking person coming and bugging me.
Don't worry. I'll come in next week and I'll just bug the fuck out of you. It'll be great.
Our furniture might be coming this week.
Ooh.
I might not be on the ground anymore.
Big moves.
That'd be
I
nice.
like it. Yeah.
That'd be real nice.
That would be really nice.
All right, man. What anime have you been watching?
Wow, we're just gonna get right into the anime. Okay, fine. Hey, I dropped some shows. I dropped Dr. Stone and Fire Force, which I hear both of them really fucking pick up after like 7 episodes, and I'm like,
cool.
I'm just done. I honestly don't think that
It's for you.
Yeah, there are some things that I like, but there's not enough there where I could be like, yeah, I could see like if there was like a big change in 7 episodes, then like, sure, yeah, it would be cool. It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like I got the gist of the world, and I get that they're going to add so many more characters to Dr. Stone. And I've seen a lot of the key visuals and whatnot that they're putting out.
Arc, yeah.
Yeah, they got a bunch of characters, old and young, that are coming in. It looks like a very different group.
Yeah, I think it's called like the Village Arc or whatever.
Okay.
I saw
believe
the
it.
key visuals, yeah.
Yeah. And then I haven't heard much about Fire Force, why it gets better, but I guess spoilers for people that are trying to learn about Dr. Stone, and instead you're learning about it from me. So since I did drop it, I'm also interested in like, but what's going on? Is it still something I don't like, or should I pick it back up? And people were like, wow, I can't believe he's been dead for 2 episodes still. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess Dr. Stone Senku dies for 2 episodes.
Cool.
The character that I thought could be the most interesting is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess other characters are going to do some growing up in that time, but I don't really fucking know, and whatever. And clearly he's going to come back to life. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So still haven't watched those. I tried watching a couple more episodes of To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts, and the animation quality is just so fucking lackluster at moments. The concept of the show is cool, but it's just not delivering in the ways that I want it to. So I'm dropping that show too. Then we move on to Copcraft. Copcraft, still think it has such a cool idea. It's done a lot of really cool things. It's got some pretty cool dialogue. Honestly, the villain in the first arc of Copcraft was the coolest motherfucker that's ever existed. The little chick goes into a bar and she's all dressed up like kind of slutty so that she can get what she needs. Then she asks for this guy, or she's like hanging out at a bar. And this guy's like trying to sweet talk her and whatnot. And then she's like, no, I'm looking for the owner of this bar, actually. And then he's like, oh, I actually know him. Like, I'll fucking, yeah, let me go take you to him. She's following him, and then they go into his office, and he slides down in the chair in like this crazy cool way. He's like, yeah, I'm the fucking manager. What's up, yo? What do you need? I'll help you out. I got you. And I'm like, oh, that was suave as fuck and super cool. And they do a bunch of fighting, but instead of animating the fighting, they do a thing that some people really didn't like. I understand why they did it. It was a smarter decision than making the fight look shitty. Instead, they like made these highlighted moments of the fight, so it like stops on a single shot for like a second or two, instead of having like a whole bunch of crazy action going on. So I think that they were just punctuating like, hey man, this is the coolest part of that fight. Here's the one shot. We can't show it all to you because we don't have the budget or the animators or whatever the fuck. And because of that, honestly, you just start noticing more and more of the animation like not really being there. So Copcraft, I'm still going to watch it because I'm really interested in the story and I do like the characters, but I don't have hope for it.
Bummer,
if that makes sense. Right?
That's kind of surprising because like I remember like between Sacred Beast and Copcraft, I thought Copcraft was animated better.
Yeah, it was.
And like my issue with Sacred Beast was like, yeah, cool concept. It's kind of ugly though, right? And then only to find out, it's going to just continue to get more ugly. And then Copcraft just kind of the quality of the thing to go down. Because I wasn't like in love with the concept of Copcraft or like the idea. I was like, I get it or whatever. And then
it's like Bright.
Yeah, it's like Bright. It's like Gate or whatever. Right? I like Gate. Bright wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then but to find out that the one thing I liked about it was the animation.
Yeah.
And is like gone and go, well, there's no point for me to see that at all.
It's kind of a bummer, but the sweet moments do look really sweet. And they focus a lot on the environments and the details of like each character. So all the details are still there, but the animation isn't, which was weird.
Which is
whatever.
An interesting decision. Yeah.
Whatever. So anyways, the shows that I have been watching that I haven't dropped, that I don't have shit to talk about right now. First off, Maidens in your sacred season. Fucking still awesome. It's on High Dive. Those of you that don't know. It's a really good dramedy. It does have a lot of moments of comedy in there, but it is a drama, and you get to learn more about these characters as going on. Essentially, these girls are in a book club together, and they are learning about sex from these books. They're in high school, all different ages in high school. Their book clubs being taken down because they don't have like a representative. They wind up getting a representative because this girl who was going in chat rooms, she's actually got an editor behind her, and she's trying to publish her writing. He's essentially saying like, yeah, you're just like not writing the sex parts that well. So you just got to get better at that. And she's trying to go out there and experience sex so she can write about it. But she also is too nervous about it. But she met some anonymous guy online, wound up being her teacher. They're both like fucking weird, especially since the teacher, like, first episode is like, hey guys, I'm your teacher. I know, like, I'm kind of hot. I'm not into high school girls, so don't even fucking think about it. And like most of the class is like, what the fuck was that?
That show? I feel like because
you don't remember that exactly.
I don't remember that big because I do remember like what show was it this season where there's like it wasn't a hot teacher. He was kind of like an ugly teacher. Does it? Okay, hold on. Is it in
he also says weird stuff.
But no, but isn't it in like what's this other show called?
We'll get to it in
Wasteful Days of High School.
Yeah.
Okay, that teacher also has a thing where he says, "I only fuck with college chicks," right?
I don't remember exactly.
I think that's
maybe it was, and they're just so incredibly similar. Both glasses, both blue hair, both tall.
That's Wasteful Days. Yeah,
okay, Wasteful Days said that. And that makes more sense.
I was like, wait, hold on.
He does say very clearly.
I don't fuck with bitches.
Like, no high school girls, no fucking way. Just not interested for so many reasons.
Okay, good.
And so anyways, so she essentially blackmails him to be their like representative for the club.
Yeah.
And they still have a weird thing going on.
Nice. I like that. Just because like all the kids kind of have like this weird like
they have some like difficult stuff to deal with
sex. Yeah, and hers is just like, yeah, I was fucking hitting my fucking teacher.
I needed to experience sex. I was afraid to. Turns out that it was my teacher that I was sexting.
So risque.
Now I'm blackmailing him. But we also kind of have a thing going on now. It got like really weird.
That's not okay in real life.
Oh no, most of this stuff isn't okay. There's another character in this last episode who brought up like she used to do acting and whatnot. I think she might have also been like dance. She did like a whole musical theater type thing, right? And she's a little girl, 11, and her, I don't know what to call him exactly, but like director, I guess, took a liking to her and then was like creepy and like a total pedophile. Except he said, I won't touch you or do anything to hurt you like that because I love your childhood innocence and I wouldn't fuck with that. but he's also super fucking creepy and a huge pedophile.
But saying that also makes it really creepy, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like, hey, I would never touch you or do anything like that
because that would make you a woman, and I'm attracted to your childhood innocence.
Yeah, that's fucked up,
right? And she's explaining this to another character, and he's like, I feel like fucking sick. That's disgusting. And she's like, yeah, I know. Anyways,
yeah, can you help with my homework? Yeah, no,
yeah. She's trying to like explain it all to him, and he's like, what the fuck? And I really like that. And then, you know, main character, she has, of course, the big issue of my childhood best friend and neighbor. I saw him jerking off, and also I have a crush on him. I don't know how to tell him, and also, like,
how do I get him to jerk off on me is her biggest quest.
More or less, you know?
Yeah.
So she's dealing with that. We got another character who met this kid at her after-school study program, and he is kind of a fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I really like him, but I also really don't like him. I don't know what to do about this. Yeah. So everyone's experiencing very different things. Oh yeah, and the main literature club like leader person.
Yeah, the tall girl.
Yeah, who she looks super nerdy, and then she takes off her glasses and puts her hair down, and she looks like a famous actress model lady.
Nice.
So anyways, there's a guy who's really into her, and she's like, fucking write me a 50-page essay on why
we should date
you're
or
interested in me.
Oh, nice.
And then he does, and she brings it back to him and like critiqued all of his work and is like, all right, so you had like a bunch of problems here and here's all that. And it's kind of cute, but in like a very
strange way.
This is not going to be a real thing. Like, essentially he said like, will you go out with me, as the last line. And then she essentially said like, I don't know, yes, but in a weird way in her corrections or whatever. So he got really excited about it. He's like, fuck yeah! And she's like embarrassed, like, why did he say it like that? Why did he say fuck yeah? Like, that's a weird way to celebrate it. But also, like, I'm really, really happy too. I'm like, that's fucking weird. You're doing weird shit. Everyone's doing weird shit. But they're all dealing with these relationships and sex things for the first time in their own ways. So the girl that acts super mature and is like, yeah, I fucking know all this sex stuff, turned out she was like kind of sexually abused by this guy. Even though he didn't touch her or anything, still mentally abused her, you know?
Fucked her up.
I love it. It's an amazing show. The characters are great. It's funny too. It has those moments where you do laugh at it. It's got that really serious topic. It's just so well done, and it's not trying to be in your face, etchy, sexy, even though it seems like it could easily do that. It knows what it's doing, and it's not trying to be anything that most animes would be, I think.
Yeah.
It's a pretty unique feeling show. And then there's Wasteful Days of High School Girls. I don't fucking remember exactly what happened this last episode, other than this new girl comes to school and she's white. I don't remember her name. But it was something that's like a just American person.
Rebecca or something like that.
Yeah, sure. And she's essentially like, oh man, I just fucking love girls and I hate guys, and anytime that like a guy touches me, I break out in hives. And they're like, all right, cool, like whatever. Can't tell if you're like cool or hot or popular or weird. Like, I don't know what your vibe is. And she gets stuck in the back of the room with the dumbass girl. And of course, the dumb girl is like asking her a bunch of weird questions, and she's eating two really smelly kinds of chips. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like shrimp, garlic, and the other one was also really intense, just like really potent flavors. And she's just being a trash monster the whole time. And she winds up touching this girl, and then she breaks out in hives immediately. And she's like, wow, that's never happened when a girl's touched me. Like, what the fuck is this? And later they go on to do experiments. And she's blindfolded. The three weirdos are like, all right, what? So we're all going to touch you. We're all going to touch your hand. And if you don't break out in hives, then we know that like it's all just mental and you can't tell what's going on. But if you do break out in hives, when the dumbass touches you, then we know that it's like a legit thing. Mm-hmm. And the first girl touches her and she's like, okay, that felt like kind of warm. That was nice. I mean, clearly that was a girl's hand. Like it felt nice or whatever. Oh, that one was cold. But it didn't feel bad. It was totally fine. And she's like, ew, something slimy just touched me. What the fuck was that?
Oh my God.
Ew, it's so slimy. She breaks out immediately. And the dumb one's just standing there like, slimy? The hell's she talking about? I got slime hands? Huh. That's kind of cool. Like, just embraces it. She's just a fucking monster. At the end, they also have this crazy girl that's like really into occult shit, and she's like, oh man, I'm gonna be magic, and she's like a huge fucking weeb, essentially. Just doesn't have any actual goals, and the teacher keeps trying to be like, all right, so we need to like give you something to focus on. What are you gonna do with your life or whatever? And she's like, I want to ride a dragon. He's like, no, like,
realistically,
can you stop fucking around for once and tell me? And they have like a long conversation, and she just goes on this monologue about how she's going to be like an archer. She's going to do all this really cool stuff. And he like breaks it down to be like very clear. Like, if you don't give me a fucking answer, you're going to like have this taken away, and this is going to be the rest of your life. And you're going to have to like go to school forever for all this bullshit. So are you going to go ahead and do like humanities or science? And then like after he threatened her, immediately she's like, humanities. Even though he's been asking her the whole time, he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? Everyone's fucked up in their own ways in that show, and they're just so stupid. Also, really good attention to detail in the background for characters. While the new girl and this stupid girl are interacting and having their whole thing, in the background, you see the one who's like, her name's Robo, and she's pretty like dry and robotic. You see her like soldering shit together. It's in the background. Like, it doesn't have any context. They don't bring it up at all. Mm-hmm. It's just, she's a fucking freak, and I love it.
Nice.
Boy Love Girl is probably just reading and writing Boy Love and whatnot. Oh man, this is a choice show. It still has the best anime intro of the season. It's bumping. It's a good time. And then we're on to Vinland Saga. Mm-hmm. We're past the point where essentially we're following a new main character. So no longer is it Thor's or whatever.
It's like
Thor Finn.
Thor Finn, right?
Thor Finn is the orphan Thor's son.
He's a little kid. He's not older.
Yeah. Essentially his papa got turbo tricked and he died.
Yeah.
Little kid, little fucko. He gets like thrown around, and he's on a boat for a while, and he comes to land, and he sees that all these Vikings that just killed his dad are killing a whole different town and lighting shit on fire. He hasn't eaten anything or drank in like forever. And then he gets an opportunity to kill the leader in his sleep, and he comes there with a knife, and he's going to go down on his neck, and he's like, nope. It's not something my dad would do. And he goes off. Then it turns out that this leader was awake that whole time, like waiting for it. And he's like, pussy. Like as soon as he leaves, coward, right? Yeah. He's like, oh shit, okay. They essentially like the kid's like, hey, I was gonna kill you last night, but like let's duel instead. And he's like, yeah, I fucking know you were gonna kill me. You should have done it in my sleep, dumbass. You can't beat me in a duel. And like kicks him a few times. And then everyone's like, yeah, he's for sure dead. The kid doesn't die, of course. And he goes and he eats like bones, and he tries to learn how to like do things out in the woods. Sees the guy that wound up like capturing him. And he's like, oh, hey man, what's going on, little kid? See, you're still alive. That's cool. You can't kill me, just so you know. But like, whatever, I'm not going to fuck with you. Kid trains a whole bunch in the forest. He comes back and he challenges the leader to a duel again. He's like, stop fucking doing that. But this time, the kid's learned a trick or two, you know? Mm-hmm. He learned how to throw his... he has a small sword, like kind of like a dagger, but it's like bigger than a dagger.
Yeah.
He's learned how to throw it really well, so he's able to like kill rabbits by throwing it at them. And so as they're all distracted and whatnot, he tries to throw it at the leader's neck, and the leader clearly dodges it and just kicks the fuck out of the kid some more. And the whole time, he's just like, look, man, I don't kill kids, or I don't like to kill kids. I totally will. But honestly, like, come and challenge me when you're older, because, like, your dad was hella strong, and I beat him in kind of a cheap way. So, like, I wanna fucking kill you when you're strong.
Yeah, this is kind of fun, yeah. I enjoy beating the shit out of you. Yeah.
Meanwhile, this whole time, it also focused on their family, because dad's dead. They don't know where the son is. Probably dead. And then the mom is clearly upset about it, but the sister's like, well, I mean, he's dead.
Fuck it.
Let's just fucking continue on.
Let's get a slave.
No good.
That's all I've ever wanted. Yeah.
She's like, it's no good fucking hanging out and doing nothing. And then she focuses really hard on working so she could distract herself. And everyone knows like she's not okay, but she's not willing to admit it. And she's like pretending really hard that she is fine. And then finally, like, it's really late in the night, and the mom's like, hey man, just go to bed. You don't need to finish this tonight. You're doing shitty work anyways because it's dark and you need better light so that you can make what you're making. Daughter's like, nah, it's fucking fine. I got this. The mom like takes her tool away and the daughter just starts like breaking down and crying suddenly. And I'm like, that was
nice.
Really fucking good.
Good job. Character development right there.
It looks incredible. I mean, it's Wit Studio.
Yeah, and they're pretty good at doing stuff.
Vinland Saga, it's really brutal. It's intense. It's pretty cool. It's way more interesting than Ancient Magus' Bride.
Boom, shots fired.
It's just it's cool, man.
Good.
I highly recommend it to people.
Nice.
That's all the anime that I've watched aside from this week's topic.
Let's see. I also watched some of what's it called? Is it wrong? Pick Up Girls in Dungeon?
Yeah.
It's the same show, man.
Okay, so we're doing the same thing, but it's
a new season. Yeah. So I mean, you wouldn't
Always
like it.
down.
Can't really. I mean, still ecchi. I still like it.
And I mean, ecchi's fine. Like, look at me. I like No Game No Life for whatever reason.
Yeah, very
just,
true. And I wasn't a fan of it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, sometimes the ecchi takes you away a little bit because I'm like, oh, I'm pretty interested in what's going on, but like not super interested. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, I don't like that it's all about like just trying to fuck each other.
Yeah, I get it.
So
that's, and then I also watched, some of the Gay Guitar Boys.
Yeah, Given.
Yeah. I still like it. It's not like
it's not incredible.
No,
but
it's not like
something you like.
Like the animation isn't great or anything, and
it's fine. I don't know. There's that style of animation that it's done in, purposely. Which I feel like it's always so. The show is always really similar in a lot of ways. It doesn't deliver in the ways that I hope it does, but like. It doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look like
all of them just do very similar things.
Yeah, I think it looks like a convenience store boyfriend. Like it's
trying to look nice.
Like but it's stylized for the specific fucking style. I think that just yaoi books or whatever just they look like that. Like that's how they draw their pretty boys or whatever. So when they translate it over to anime, there's like let's kind of like polish it up a little bit, but it still just doesn't look that great.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing I've also come to not like about the show is when the character sings, because there's a bit where he sings like something that's in his heart. It's like the guy he gets asked by the brooding character, what kind of music do you like? And the fucking dumb stupid main character goes, duh, I don't know,
Green Day,
whatever. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, like I don't really like music, I guess. And he goes, what? And he goes, and the brooding character goes like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. Like, what kind of rock or fucking guitar do you want to play? Like I'm asking you a pretty basic question. And the guy goes like, yeah, I don't fuck with music. He goes like, I do have this song in my heart and head that plays all the time though. And he goes, okay, well fucking sing it or whatever. And so he sings it, and he sings it like really poorly in my opinion. Like he just like he does like a la 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 la, like he does like the levels of like the different like keys changing and stuff like that. But it doesn't sound good in my opinion, right?
It's probably because he's not a professional musician. But I don't know.
But the issue I have with it is the brooding character, fucking sparkly eyes, goes, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing I ever heard in my life. And I go, really? That's the most amazing thing you've heard in your life?
That's one of those things where it's so difficult to convey
something. Yeah. It's something awe-inspiring, right? Because I get it. The idea is that like, there's no reason for this character to join the band. Like, but then he goes, hey, play that song you have in your head or whatever, or heart. And he goes, okay. And he plays it and he goes, and it opens his eyes and it makes him feel something he's never felt before. And it's super like something amazing, right? And he goes, you have to be part of this band. He goes like, I know that you don't really know how to play the guitar. It's like, but you have to be the singer in my band. And he gets pumped. The thing is, the thing that they made him, the music or the noise he made with his mouth to represent this awe-inspiring, music was pretty shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to go, all right. I guess it was good enough for this dumbass. I get it.
That's tough.
But what I still do really like is when they play actual music. When they actually play when they actually play the instruments, I go, oh, cool. I really enjoy this.
Nice.
And we're getting some more backstory about like the main character and why he's the way he is. Why are you the way you are?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I still like this show. I'm also watching what else? Vinland Saga. Yeah, it's good. It's really brutal.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it's great that Prime picked that up. Prime knows how to pick them.
It's weird because Amazon doesn't get any shows anymore.
No.
they were like, yeah, we're gonna get like 5, and we were like, okay, so I guess we got to treat them like seriously, and they're like, we're just gonna get 1, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Like, they did this last season. They did Dororo, right?
They've done Banana Fish.
They had, they originally had Land of the Lustrous. So, like, good shows,
Picking up good shit.
Good for you guys. Because fucking Crunchyroll dropped the ball.
What the fuck was that show about the hero? Yeah, Koku.
Yeah, it was like the last hero or something like that with the old guy. I like that show too. That was also on Prime. Yeah, also on Prime. Yeah, no,
they have a lot of good stuff,
but they don't have like a huge like backlog of stuff.
No,
they get a few.
It's also really hard to find good anime on there.
I mean, they also get kind of shit things too. They had a fucking Sugar Life, right?
Yeah,
that show was bad.
Happy Sugar Life was interesting. I wanted it to be good, and I watched all of it.
I know. I'm like, damn, that would have been really cool if they like did a good job with it.
Yeah, well,
they didn't. So there's other animes that I just haven't really had time to look up. I do want to keep watching. What's it called? Fire Force and Dr. Stone, because I haven't dropped off yet. Yeah, but I'm behind a few episodes. Maybe I'll make it to the episode 7 where it gets good, and I can tell you, hey man, it gets good, and I can explain to you why.
Cool, I might watch it now.
Yeah. No, but
I'm still keeping up with the people. I don't really care that much about Fire Force at all. I'm just gonna be honest. It looks so fucking generic shonen to me. If it's not, I want to know. But as of right now,
it's gonna be on Toonami, man. Don't worry about it. We'll watch it on Toonami.
Thank you.
That's it, man. Honestly, that I watched all of that, and then I watched, what we're reviewing this week for anime. So
sick. I'm always about that.
Do you want to do the news now?
No, but I will.
Okay, let's get to the news.
Okay, cool. So there's not a lot of news this week. There usually isn't much news anymore, I guess. Every once in a while, it's like, yeah, I got like 10 things to tell you about. But this week, I have to tell you about Overlord Season 4. It's coming out.
What?
Yeah, wild. What? I know. I'm so into the intros and outros of Overlord. They are so good.
Well, what about the shows that are in between the intros and outros?
Yeah.
You okay with them? You like 3?
There are parts that I like 3.
You like 2?
I like parts. I like all the Butler parts of 2.
I couldn't finish 2.
The end of 2 was really good as well.
I really
liked the beginning had cool stuff, but it was slow.
I really like season 1.
Season 1 was fucking rad.
So sick. And then I can't believe they're getting a 4th season. Good for them, I guess.
Season 3 was really good. I'm excited for season 4.
Yeah.
Because after season 3, I really want to see where it goes, honestly. It's so fucking rad. I'm excited about Overlord Season 4. But this was announced at a German anime convention called AnimagiC. And then
Germany,
the C at the end of AnimagiC, because it's not a K either. It's just capital. I don't know what the whole deal is, but they probably call it AC.
Okay. What about it?
They announced season 4.
Oh, that's where they announced it.
What the fuck do you want me to say?
No, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know those were the same pieces of news. I thought like,
I said, it was announced at this.
Oh, you were announced it. Okay, good. Good for them.
Sweet. And then Aggretsuko, you know it, you love it. It's been renewed for a 3rd season on Netflix.
I do know it. That's the red panda. That's fucking heavy metal. She's aggressive as fuck, right?
Yeah. And she works in an office.
People like that show. I'm not really about it.
It's fine. It's not for us. But that's cool. Sure. Like, I love that Netflix actually has a show that people are stoked about over and over. Each time they say, hey, a new season, people lose their minds.
Was this 3 you said?
Yeah.
No, good for them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Gintama, you know it. You love it.
I do. I do actually like Gintama. Yeah. Just not enough to watch it from the beginning.
You don't want to watch 800 episodes?
No, fuck
All right, whatever. It's going to have a new film. Who would have thought? It's getting another movie. So volume 77 of Gintama's manga, like, officially confirmed the rumors because it was talked about. It was tweeted out. But then the new manga volume had, like, an ad for it.
Okay,
or whatever. Cool. So that's the news.
That's the news, guys.
That's what you wanted so bad.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
That's what you really wanted me to talk about this week, right?
After Anime Expo, a lot of news slows down because time has to pass for things to happen. So
wait until Crunchyroll Expo. We don't know. Honestly, we have no idea.
I don't know.
We are going to go to Crunchyroll Expo. It's at the end of this month, beginning of September. I think it's the 30th through the 1st. So, hey, if you are around the San Jose area, if you are going to the Crunchsters,
it's not that bad, actually.
Hit us up.
I saw the prices because, like, we got press passes, right?
Yeah.
But I saw the prices, and I think it's like for 3 days, it's like $85, and for like a 1 day pass, it's like 70 or something like that. So fuck it, might as well get the 3 day, right? Like, if you can't go.
But honestly, that is that bad. in my opinion. Well, I mean, you look at Anime Expo and you're like, oh, it's like $100 for 4 days.
Yeah.
For the biggest anime convention in the world. Crunchyroll Expo, this is the third year? Second year? Third year.
Because the first year you said, fuck it, we're not going to go. Second year we were going to go and you hurt yourself.
Ow.
This year we're like, fuck it, we're doing it no matter what. And then we find out, oh, cool. I mean, we were always wondering, like, what could it be? It's just a convention, you know?
I mean, because we've been to SAC Anime a couple of times.
It'll probably... Okay, look.
It's like $20
The
or
reason
whatever
I think it's better than... I think the price is better is because it's going to be in Santa Rosa, and that's like...
San Jose.
Way better. Oh, what? It's in San Jose?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was Santa Rosa. Anyways, first of all, San Jose and Santa Rosa are better than Sacramento, so I'm okay with that.
True.
Yeah. So
that's it.
That's it.
First off, this 1 point.
Well, no, that was the one. That's the 1 point I have. Like, cool, because like honestly, now that I know what it's just a convention. They're not going to really do anything too crazy. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. We'll see.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about this week's topic?
What are we talking about this week?
Talking about Non Biyori.
Yeah.
It's done by Silverlinks.
Yeah.
And Silverlinks has done stuff like I don't fucking know.
Dude, give me a guess. One guess.
Can you give me a hint and I'll try to guess one? Like just like a tiny hint. Like don't like just say one piece of an anime that I've seen from them and I can try to guess it.
That you've seen from them?
I mean, it would help if I've seen it. That way it can be easier. It can be any anime. Go for it.
Well, okay. Kyle reviewed it once.
Oh.
For one of his episodes.
Shit. Is it... Okay, it's not a short one. It's got to be a long one. Is it A Sister's All You Need?
What?
Did I get it?
Yeah, it is A Sister's All You Need. Cool. Good fucking job. I thought you were going to go for something else.
No, because I know it's not total ass. Like, you know, they're an actual pretty good studio. And Kyle's biggest downfall with Sisters All You Need is like it's just not for him, but it looked good. So like, and it wasn't
exactly.
funny, right?
All right, so cool. Silverlink has done things like Kokoro Connect, Baka and Test, and Sisters All You Need, a lot more as well. Not every show is great by Silverlink, but they all look really fucking good. Let me tell you that much. So Kokoro Connect happened to be a show that was for me. I really enjoyed that. I think that you would too.
Which one was that?
It was Your Name, but then it got crazy.
Okay.
It was Freaky Friday.
And then it got crazy. It's the Freaky Friday one. Okay, so Kokoro connects that one. I just said the other one. What was the last one you said?
Baka and Test.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah, people like it. Don't worry about it.
Good. People out there going, yeah, Baka and Test.
Wait, Baka no Test? Does that help you?
Oh, Baka no. All
right, well, it was really close.
Right,
Anyways, Non Biyori is a slice of life. It takes place out in some country town. They don't tell us the name of the village or town or whatever the fuck you're going to call it. It's just some small house place in Japan. And the whole plot of it is these girls are going to school and they're friends and they do kid things, ranging from kid things from 1st grade to 9th grade because all of them go to the same school because they're the only students and a character's brother as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a small community and stuff like that, like, it wouldn't make sense to have like different classes for different people. So they go, cool. And I haven't heard of this like in recent years, but I know that when my parents were growing up in Mexico, they're like, yeah, sometimes like elementary school was kind of elementary school, middle school, high school, depending on like where you were.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, And then like,
I've heard about this in like Alaska for people that live in the United States. I'm sure there aren't that many rural areas.
Or back in like
back
in the fucking old pioneering times, you go, cool. All you grades are just going to be together because and the one teacher's going to teach all this stuff. And I mean, teaches in this show teaches a very like loosely based thing because the teacher doesn't really teach anything.
You know what? We don't actually get to see class time
more
see it, than
like, twice.
Them fucking around.
We see it at least once where they're working on like their school books and the teacher's like asleep or whatever.
Yeah, which is that's how the show is. It's fine. It's fun. So, anyways, the show opens up with the 1st grade character fucking walking down the road with a recorder. Just blowing in it, not really knowing what she's doing with it.
Kind of like a kid.
Yeah.
It feels really genuine. Like she feels like a child.
Yeah, and that's my first impression of the show. I'm like, fuck, they did such a good job with this 1st grader. And then she talks with like she sounds like one of those kids that's always got like snot running down their nose, but she doesn't look like that. Instead, she looks like she has almost no emotion and she's always mad, but it's mostly like blank.
Yeah, it looks like she's just like kind of like a blank slate, right? Like kind of like there's nothing really going on.
There are no reactions. It's just impulse.
It's always her like just looks like she's always thinking about stuff, and like she has like resting bitch face, and she's like really pointy eyebrows and stuff.
The character designs in the show, let's just get to that right away, I guess. Fantastic.
I like them,
everyone looks unique and different in different ways. They do some things that I'm like, ooh, I don't know, you're getting away with something risky right now.
Oh yeah.
But it's a fun time. So anyways, first grader's going to school. She meets up with an older girl and is like, hey, what's up? You're going to school alone or whatever? And they meet up and they walk to class together, and or they walk to the bus stop together. They all get on the bus. Then they find out when they're at school that there's a new girl, and we get introduced to the new girl and kind of learn all their ages through that new girl showing up. And then they all just fucking get along and they have fun and they do fun things. And the first episode made me laugh pretty hard at one point.
Which point?
So it's after school. They've talked about like, oh yeah, this is class. Teacher sleeps all the time. Watch out for walking on the sides of the halls because you'll fall down.
Got you?
Yeah, no, that didn't get me. Okay. That was just funny. But if you walk on the sides, there's a bunch of buckets and they're catching water, and you don't want to like walk into them. Oh yeah, so that I don't like trip over the buckets. No, because you'll fall through the rotting floor if you do. Anyways, I thought that was fun. But then they go home and they go back to the first grader's house. She's like, hey guys, you want to come over? Like, you guys should come over.
She invites them all over.
Yeah. They're like, all right, fucking let's go. And she's like, check it out. I got like a friend. Yeah. And she starts trying to whistle. She puts her fingers in her mouth and she's trying to do like a loud whistle. And they're like, oh man, she can't do it. This looks so dumb. And she's like, and then they just stand there and like, all right. And then this fucking raccoon pops out of the bushes and like, holy shit, she did it. It actually came.
What's her raccoon's name again?
It's like Go. Or something
it's like GU or whatever.
Yeah, Goo. Yeah, it's Goo.
Yeah. It's like my pet Goo. They call it raccoons over there. They call them tanukis, right?
Well, tanukis are like
the mythological.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like a tanuki, and the fact that she's able to call it and just comes out from it's very.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, and then, it's an ugly looking raccoon too.
I love it. Yeah, it looks mangy and shit. And then so they're like, "Holy shit, it came!" And she's like, watch this. And she actually whistles and like, oh my God, she can actually whistle. And they just like stare at the raccoon and it just stands there and does nothing. Yeah. And it's just quiet for like 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They're all just standing there. It got me so good. So then I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to like this show.
Yeah. So the way I felt about the show was, I've had a history of like learning to like slice of life and then finding slice of life that like I do enjoy, because originally I was a very like adamant fuck slice of life. There's no point for them, and the way I felt about this one was I like it. I do enjoy like the characters and stuff.
I know where you're going with this, and I feel probably the same.
I enjoy the character stuff, and there's the thing is like there was parts. I think it's the 8th episode I was watching, and I was watching it and I was like dozing off because I was getting kind of bored or whatever. And I legitimately fell asleep like halfway through. And I woke up and I go, oh, fuck, I fell asleep. And I go, I got to rewind it and watch it again. And they go, no, actually, I don't fucking do that at all. Because
it's a slice of life.
In these 15 minutes, there's no way I lost any point of some sort of character development or something huge happening. Because
you missed a joke or two.
Yeah, but nothing really happens. And the thing is, when you watch a show like this, you don't watch it to see them like, grow and become these things, whatever. You watch it because like, oh, they're just having a good time, and I'm gonna have a good time watching them in this weird situation, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what it is. So I did like it. I don't know if I would continue to watch because the third season is gonna come out pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I think the thing is, if I ever watch this, I don't think I'd watch it like regularly. Like I wouldn't watch it every week. Maybe I'll pop in, watch a couple here and there. Maybe someday I'll finish it all. But I don't feel like, I have to fucking watch this, like kind of like Tamako Market or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was a slice of life, and there was like a little bit of enough like a plot and stuff where it was like,
I mean, same thing with like K-On!
Yeah.
There's some plot going on there. But this is very much just hanging out, doing different things, and you see them each doing different stuff.
Yeah, and which is fun. But it wasn't like had me hooked 100%.
Right. Well, we only talked about one character, so let's talk about the others. Sure, This is a very character-heavy show.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Where they each have their own little shticks and jokes work because the characters are the way that they are.
I'll take on the next two because like the next two are sisters, right?
Sisters.
Which I missed for a second, and then I realized in the second or third episode, like, oh, they're related or whatever. And like, so
which one are you talking about first? The old one or the young one?
I'm going to talk about the younger one. So the younger one is in 7th grade, and she's kind of tall, right, for her age, because she's taller than her older sister, who's in the 8th grade.
Let me tell you, I do want to get into this. I don't know how important it is, but I'm just going to tell you right now and interrupt. Season 2 of Non Biyori is called Non Biyori Repeat, and it starts out the day before the first episode of season 1.
Yeah, I saw episode 2 because you were telling me I had to watch it or whatever. Because for some reason, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
So I did, but then I was like, am I watching the right? And then I go,
I know. Yeah.
I get it. I get what's going on here. Yeah.
So you're just watching the same year. You're watching different days. You're watching
bits of it.
Stuff happen,
which is interesting.
I thought it was such a cool concept for a second season. Anyways, you do get to see on that first day of school for all of them that this 7th grader, it's her, like, we're starting day 1 essentially. And she's like, oh man, it's so weird going back to the same school that I just graduated in. And I thought that was a cool idea too, since they all do go to the same school. They promoted
to like middle school or whatever.
Yeah. They're like, oh fuck, man, weird shit. I'm wearing different clothes.
But she still has
a different grade. But I'm exactly the same.
In the same place, yeah. So she's like I said, she's the younger sister. She's taller than her older sister, but both of them aren't as tall as the last character we're going to talk about. She is kind of like the rambunctious wild one.
She's spunky as fuck.
She also,
but so is the youngest one.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because usually the way for like a show like this, like you have the straight person, right? You have like the person that's like kind of silly, the lazy person, and then like one wild card, right? Like this show has like 2 wild cards. And okay, cool. So she's also like, a little lazy and stuff. And she thinks she knows more than she really does. Yeah. And she butts heads with her mother, and she fights with her sister, and she never means it like to do like, there's no malice or whatever. It's just it's just sibling stuff, Yeah. She's like, yeah, you're shorter than me, I'm not going to respect you or whatever. And then like, I'm not going to treat you like an older sister because you're little or whatever. And I liked her a lot, actually. I thought she was a lot of fun.
Yeah. They all had pretty great personalities to back up their roles in this group of friends.
And then the older sister, so she, like I said, she's in 8th grade.
I think she was 9th grade.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. No, 9th was the older brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure that out. I was trying to figure out their ages. Remember, like, that the new girl's in 5th grade, and they were 2 years apart, which is 7, and then she's 1 year older, and then there's a year older than that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so then the older sister of this in the group, she's small, right?
She's short. She's a little bit taller than the first grader.
Yeah. She's cute, and they call her, like, whatever her nickname is, essentially just means like short Chan. Like, it's like that's what they've called her. Her shtick essentially is she wants to be really like adult. Like, it's like everything I do is adult. Like this new dress I bought's adult. I got a CD player because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But she always just kind of misses the mark, right? Like she gets outshined at all the time, and she's really out of her depths because I think it's just like a product of where she's been raised. She's from the country, right? She doesn't really like know. She's not wise to the world and stuff. No, but she likes to play it up. She's also at times she's like a really bad cook, and at times she's also like a huge ditz because like things will happen. Like there's the one episode where she goes on a date with the friend she set up to have a date with, only to not realize it was her the whole time.
Which I honestly loved that part because her friend looked like a kid tried to dress like an adult. Yeah. But this other kid who's a little bit older still sees her and is like, holy fuck, look at this
woman. Yeah. Look at this grown ass adult.
And I loved that element to it where I'm like, no fucking adult would ever dress like that.
Or say, hey, let's go to the fucking candy store or whatever, and it not be weird.
Yeah. It was so great.
So that's what I think her shit boils down to, that, like her always being crossed because people make fun of her height, not respecting her. She wants people to call her. That's why she likes the new student, because she calls her senpai, and she's like, someone's like looking up to me and respecting me. And she's more studious, and she's a little bit smarter when it comes to school and stuff. But when it comes to street stuff, she's again kind of like a ditz. Yeah. And that's kind of her shtick.
And I like that too.
Yeah. And then the last character is the new character.
The new girl. She's the girl from Tokyo. She's in 5th grade. She is taller and prettier than all of them. So, of course, the first... we'll get into that in a minute, okay?
You can't see it, guys, but I'm saying she got boobs.
Yeah. So
He's 10.
I know.
Okay.
So the first grader, of course, doesn't see her as like pretty or anything. It's just like everyone's an equal because I'm a fucking monster. Is essentially the first grader.
Yeah.
And then as this fifth grader comes in, she's like, "Oh my gosh, everything's so new out here." They just show her all these new experiences, and she's having a great time, just meeting her friends and feeling like she fits in this country village.
Yeah.
And they, of course, see her as this very enriched, ideal Tokyo girl, which in ways she is. In other ways, it's just like, no, she's just a fucking
just a
average
person.
kid.
Yeah.
But then for them being out in the country, of course, it goes into the whole kind of coming of age, learning how to deal with your body and like beauty and whatnot. Anyways, of course, the eighth grader, she's going to feel like insecure that this younger person is much taller and prettier than her, but also she's got big old boobs. And I'm like, she's a fucking fifth grader.
Her tits are bigger than like the teacher's tits.
Yeah.
Who is like an adult, right? Like,
honestly, I'm like, I don't support that. But like, and you don't see this, of course, until the beach episode.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I kind of noticed it at the end of every episode where they have like, you know, the outro and they just all bathe together. And I go, that's interesting. That's an interesting choice to be like, you know what our outro is? The girls all having a group bath. And I go, but it's very prominent in the beach episode where it's just like a good chunk of the jokes are, wow, her tits are huge.
Yeah.
And I'm flat chested. And then someone even goes, are you sure you're in the fifth grade, girl? Like, you sure you know, because you looking like a schnack is what they're saying essentially.
Yeah. More or less. Yes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was such a weird choice for a fifth grader.
Well, because I was sitting there for a bit, like trying to like, the way I always gauge age is like, I go, okay, like, especially with kids, because when I was younger, I was better at it. I can be like, oh, I mean, you're in that grade, that means you're this old. So now I go, cool. When I was 5, I was in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
So 6 means 6th grade. When I was 1, I was 6 years old. I go, cool. So that's how old the littlest one in my my head is, right?
She's like 6. She's maybe 7.
Yeah, by near the end later in the show, she says I'm gonna be 7, right?
Yeah.
So she's about 6. So then I do so 1st grade, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I was like, that's like 10, right? Maybe 11.
Yeah.
And then you go, 6th, 7th, that's like 12. 8th is 13, like around that age. Like, so I was like, cool. So their ages range from 6 to 13.
Yeah.
And the reason they have to hang out with each other is because they're stuck in this thing. And I have to go, okay,
they're at
cool.
School together and
maybe
whatever.
It has to be a cultural thing. It has to be like also like a country thing, because if you put it in, here in the town that we live in, kids from that great group, they would not fucking hang out with each other at all, right?
No.
So I was like, cool.
They're also the only kids in town.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are other kids like there's the older brother, right? Who I like a lot.
Oh, I thought you would fucking love him. That's why I told you to watch season 2, episode 2.
I'm kind of bummed that he never has like a line.
I love that.
Because when I first saw it, I was just like, dude, there's a fucking guy right there, right? And I was like pointing at him. I was like, why is no one acknowledging him? And then they go, oh, that's the older brother. No one wants to hang out with their older brother, right?
No, of course not.
And then he's also like the only boy amongst a sea of girls. And I go, it would be kind of weird if he hung out with them all the time.
Yeah. So instead he hangs out alone.
Yeah, but they do include him in things. And whenever he does, he usually has like a funny bit. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's like the quiet, funny, punching bag every now and
insanely talented. Everything.
One of my favorite bits with him is his younger sister, who's in 7th grade, asks him to help him model something with clay. He's like, hey, model a cat. So impressed. So he models this really fucking good, like,
he makes like a professional level anime figure
like of like a kind of like a little sexy cat girl. And she goes, wow, that's really great. And then like she's like really proud,
Yeah.
And then she just smushes it. And she goes like, I can't show that to Ren-chan. Like she's too young, right? And then he's just like defeated. Like he's like on the ground. I go, oh, my dude.
I thought you would fucking love that.
He was probably one of my favorite characters. So going back to the thing, so that's where their age is, right? 6 to 13. And I do agree that the fact that this girl's in 5th grade tend like to be that developed or whatever.
Yeah.
And if for it to be a joke or brought up or whatever, and my head is like, you just should have made her a little bit older then. Maybe make her also,
a little uncomfortable, but like, okay.
Make her like in 7th or 8th grade, because that's also when girls are maturing more realistically, right? It's like,
I'm sure for some people they're like, holy shit, that's so funny. She's only in 5th grade. That's so funny.
And in my head, I'm like, that's not funny. I go,
didn't land for me.
Yeah.
They really pushed that joke. I don't know, man. That was my only I don't know man joke out of the whole thing, though.
Yeah.
It's not like I liked every joke, but it's not like I was like, oof. Didn't work for me.
You didn't like pause it and go, whoa, what am I watching here?
I didn't pause it at all during that episode. Instead, I was like, all right, let's just get the boobs out of here.
Let's just let's fast forward.
Let's get the fifth grade boobs out.
Someone put a shirt on this bitch. You know?
And then there are other characters too. We have the mom who's also the older sister who's also the teacher.
Yeah.
The mom's gone all the time, and she shows up sometimes, I think.
If we're talking about like Ren, right? That's like that's what her name is, Ren Chan or whatever, right? The youngest one.
Yeah.
She's related to the teacher.
Yes.
That's her older sister. And then she also has another older sister who's studying in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then we never see her parents. The mom that we see is the mom for the three siblings in
two
class.
Sisters and the
boy,
brother. Yeah.
So we see her. I think we see the new Tokyo student's mom a couple times.
Or twice, yeah.
And then another recurring character is the girl who runs the candy shop. They call her Candy Shop or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Candy Store or whatever. She's a friend of like the teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of grew up in this community. A lot of people kind of just have grown up, you know, in this country town and have stayed or whatever. So she's one of them. And I feel like there's also one other girl who's like a neighbor who shows up in an episode.
Oh, you're talking about their grandma lives there. And she came to visit the grandma, I think.
No, that's a little girl. She was. Okay, no, but I'm talking about there's an episode where like this is the episode where the short girl who, you know, is pretending to be really adult. She says, "Let's talk about music and let's talk about fashion," kind of episode, you know. I think the neighbor girl comes over and she's just I don't know how old she is the only issue. She doesn't. It wasn't really explained how old she was.
Yeah.
So there's that. she also goes with them to the day they have like the school festival or whatever. So that's essentially like the entirety of the cast. There's like
it's pretty small.
Yeah,
they're all pretty powerful characters in different ways. Like the sister that's in Tokyo for the youngest character. She comes back and she's like, yeah. I went on a bullet train and it was so cool. And yeah, I pretty much know everything there is to know about Tokyo. And they're like, holy shit, that's so cool. Tell us everything.
Yeah.
And then of course Tokyo Girl comes in and they're like, hey, you used to live in Tokyo.
You
Why
ride
don't
a
you guys
bullet
like
train?
Yeah. And she's like, no, never did. Like, that's what I fucking thought. Wait, then how'd you get here? I flew on a plane. Like, what the fuck? Clearly overshadowed.
That was one of my favorite jokes because they go, "What, you flew? Oh my god, how we not talked about this?" And like they push her into the living room and they close the door and like, "Please tell us everything." Oh my god, you know, like it's like, and they just leave the other girl there. Yep. It's like in the dust. They go, "You dumb bitch," and she goes like, "In the bullet train, they give you juice or whatever." Like, you know, like she's just like, "Oh man, yeah."
But every character has their little moments. They all get like pretty good moments of jokes and. I don't know, man. It was just a fun, charming show with likable characters.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're not there for like character development or plot or shit, anything like that. You're there for these characters being put in the situations and them just being who they are, and you sitting there and watching it and being like, "Wow, that's enjoyable. That's a funny thing that they did." Or
hell yeah,
I'm surprised they're in the situation. What do they do from here? So the characters I liked the most in the show were the youngest girl.
Yeah, me too.
She had a really good like story bit where we see her history with the shopkeep or whatever, the candy shop girl. Like, I really like that. That was really endearing. She has a really good episode also where she meets another young girl who's in the first grade who comes to visit her grandma for like winter break or whatever.
Yeah.
And they become friends and take photos. And then
she's like, "Oh man, I've never been here. I'm just taking photos. Like, I have something really cool to show you."
Yeah.
And just like leads her into fucking hills.
Yeah.
And it seems like scary. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, something really cool is up here."
Yeah.
I just
like
love the idea.
Her.
Yeah. The idea of, oh, there's something you're really going to like.
You don't want to see this.
Never says where they're going. Just like, there's a cool thing.
And the reason I think, and that was really good because like, she has, you know, and her friend.
She didn't know what to call it. And that's, it all worked.
It's a water wheel, right? Like her, that friend ends up having to leave suddenly,
like immediately,
and like it's very good because like, you know, this emotionless character shows emotion for like one of the first times, and
I really wanted to be friends.
Yeah, and she starts crying, and it's really good, and I like her a lot because I feel like she embodies that age. You know, she's
chaotic as fuck.
There's bits where she's just like, you know, really quiet, and then she yells something. Yeah, like, you know, it's time for her to explode, or she'll be like, or she'll sing songs that she's making up. that are just very absurd.
Yeah.
Her mentality is that of a child. Like,
it's great.
There's a bit where they come over for, I think it's like lunch or dinner or whatever, and she packs a huge bowl of rice for like the Tokyo girl, and she goes like, hey, this bowl's for you because you're so big, because you're bigger than everybody else, so you need more nourishments to get bigger.
And then she's like trying to be helpful and thoughtful.
Yeah, and then
they're like, all right, idiot.
And she goes, yeah, that makes, thank you. And she eats her rice or whatever. So I liked her a lot.
Also, all the characters are very polite. Even if they're like rambunctious and whatnot, they're also really loving and polite with each other. Like the least
polite is like the seventh grader. That girl, but she's still also like a good person.
Yeah.
And then I liked the seventh grade girl or whatever. I feel like her bits were pretty funny. Nothing like that like blew my mind. Like, oh, she's entertaining, and she's just kind of like, a lazy person. Mm-hmm. There's times where she, bites off one thing and shoot. The people I liked the least, I think, were the other two girls.
I think Tokyo was my least favorite character.
I think just the relationship between the two of them is something I just didn't find like funny. The joke was
I thought it was endearing but not funny.
Yeah, like the joke was like Tokyo girl liked the senpai because she's small and cute, and she just wanted to be with her all the time, right? And like
also she's older and she's hanging out with an older girl, and that's cool.
That makes her feel cool, yeah. And then the other girl, the relationship with her is like she wants to show off and wants to be cool and stuff, and like show off that she's an adult, only to be outshined all the time, but on accident, right? Like never, it's never done on purpose. She just like every time she goes like, look at my nice dress, and then the Tokyo girl shows up with like even nicer clothes. Like she's like, yeah, this is like, or like, look at the food I made. And it's like the food I made is way better than the food you made, right?
Yeah.
So like I was like, just the relationship between the two of them was like, I could do without like any of those bits. Like I wasn't really feeling.
Yeah, no, they were endearing, but they never made me like laugh.
Yeah, and the brother, I was a huge fan.
Oh, just amazing.
Just because he's just like a nice just like flavor fucking.
Yeah, the older brother and the older sister
were good. Yeah,
both great. Had very little roles, but every time that they were around, I felt like they were there for a great purpose.
Yeah, I think like my favorite, like one of the jokes from the first episode is the joke where like they find out like, are we in the country, right?
Yeah, they made it over and over like, hey, we're not in the country, are we? Hell no, we're not in the country. And what are you talking about?
They miss the bus and they go, oh yeah, the bus is going to come in another 2 hours. And they go, what? And they go, yeah, what can you do? That's life in the country. And like the
first graders like,
like, And so that was a really funny joke. Like you told it to me before I'd seen it, and I was like, and it still landed, right?
Yeah.
And so then I watched. I think it might even be the last episode where she is watching the older brother, and he's like eating like some sort of like fucking plant, like he's chewing on them. It's like chewing on 3 of them. They kind of look like 4-leaf clovers, and she's just like staring at him, and he's just like looking back and staring. And then she freaks out and like she runs away, and she goes like, oh my god. She's like, we had to live in the country. Like only here in the country could like some person eat, grass, and people go around and collect edible plants for food. Like what? And then like she has like this like mental breakdown or whatever. It came all the way back. And then like Tokyo's just like, you're right. Like in Tokyo, we don't have like hills and people don't gather like, edible plants and stuff. Because like the young girl has knowledge of things like, oh, I can eat this and eat that just because she kind of grew up there. Right.
Yeah.
And she was like, and there's no like beach fronts or like sand or anything or mountains or like water wells or whatever. Like, but she's like, but that doesn't matter. It's all like, at the end of the day, like, it's really great that I'm a part of this. And she goes like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome. We live in the country, boys. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I like that.
It really brought it home.
That bit was my favorite bit. And then the bit where they're going to go feed the rabbits, and the rabbit for a split second zooms in on the door and kicks it and locks it. In,
yeah.
I was like, what?
It was great.
I thought it was
They're just
funny.
Locked inside a little rabbit hut.
Yeah.
It was great. And I told you, like, hey, man, I don't know if you liked it or not, but if you did enjoy the parts of this show, you should watch season 2, episode 2.
Yeah.
Just, like, watch the first half of it.
Yeah. And I did. That's
one of the top 10 battles of anime.
I wouldn't say it's top 10. I'd say, like top 20.
Okay. Well, whatever. You're wrong, but that's fine.
I've seen more battles, bro.
It's like number 11 for you then.
It's like,
okay, got
it. It's like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
pretty good.
It cracked me up because it reminded me so much of when you would be in class, you got nothing to do, you're bored, you find games to fuck around with. Mm-hmm. And they have a game with everyone has their own ruler and everyone has their own pens. And they try to knock each other's rulers off of this platform that they're on by making one motion with their pen, essentially just like pinching the end of their ruler and pushing it forward.
Like propelling it forward, yeah.
So they all have different tricks and they have like certain moves and whatnot, and it's all working out. And the new girl accidentally screws over her senpai, who she cares so much about, like immediately, she screws her over and like knocks her ruler off on accident. So like, hey, brother, you doing anything? You want to come over and get in this game? This character, or this person's character. This person's out.
This new main character.
Anyways, you wanna come and join us? And he's like, he just comes over and then immediately hits all three of theirs in one attack.
He's too strong. Yeah.
So then they team up on him. And the whole fucking action sequence of like, they knocked his ruler off right away and he flicks it back up last second. And they say, oh my God, he did that move. And it's like a shonen suddenly. And he's just fucking fighting with every ounce of energy he has and kicking their ass.
My favorite bit about that fight is like when the fucking 6-year-old, the first grader goes, he goes like, I know what to do. And she goes, it's all up to you, senpai. And like, she smashes her pencil
out of her ruler.
And and the ruler flips onto onto her partner's friend, like a teammate's ruler. And they go, and the girl goes, why would you do that? And then they go, oh no, it's like, and then it gets broken down like a video game. Yeah. So then she then flips it and they pin down the brother's ruler. And it's like it's like some sort of like battle tactic or fight. And they go, this is fucking stupid. This is so great. It was a lot of fun.
The top. It was so much fun. And then afterwards they were like, oh man, it was so much fun playing that game earlier today. Like we gotta play more sometime. And they quickly explain, yeah, we have a lot of games like that. Like we've got mini golf and like this and that. And I'm like, I forgot about playing pencil golf.
Yeah.
Where you draw a little course on your piece of paper and then you take the eraser and with the lead point down and you just push it. And however far it goes is how far it goes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You ever play it?
Not like that, no.
Oh, how'd you play it?
We would ball up like little pieces of like paper, right?
Oh, yeah?
And then we would actually like flick it.
Okay.
And we wouldn't like push it with our light. We'd go and like do stuff like that. But we'd also make barriers that would like put like up like binders so it couldn't go off the fucking.
Oh yeah, we've done things like that before, but that one in particular, I remembered. I'm like, fuck, man, I forgot about all the ridiculous ass games, and that one stayed so true to me because I'm like, we used to make elaborate ass courses on our pieces of paper and be like, hey, you guys ready for a round of golf?
Yeah. Well, what I also like about that, that specific bit is that, they're playing the game for the first time with the Tokyo girl and like, she's kind of learning it. And so they're kind of explaining it to her and they have rules that are just like dumb, but
well, of course, everyone's got dumb rules.
But when you're a child, you have dumb rules. You go, but okay. So he has like 2 chances to try to get it unpinned. If not, he loses. And they go, yeah, okay, that's fair. Whatever. So it just feels very authentic and very real is what I'm trying to get at. Like the show,
it was cool.
Yeah, the show makes it, makes you feel like, oh, these kids are acting appropriately for their age. Maybe some of them don't look appropriate for their age, but they act appropriate for their age, or whatever.
It's great.
It's a good show. Yeah. Like I said though, just because of the fact that it's kind of just like this chill thing that like there aren't really any stakes or any like development worth like plot wise. I don't really have this desire to like watch this new season or to continue watching season 2. I feel like it's something that I can pop in and watch a couple episodes here and there.
Yeah, if you're like, I don't know what to watch,
but
I'll put on something easy. Right? There you go.
Just because like, even though like I'm very adamant, like I like watching things like in order, right? So like when you said watch episode 2, I go, but then I have to watch episode 1. And I go, it doesn't fucking matter if I watch episode 1 or not. So I went straight to episode 2 and I go, cool. This is just kind of how it is. It's a good slice of life. It's a funny show. It looks good. It's charming. It's for sure for a lot of people. I think I recommend it to people for sure. It was good. If you're looking for a good slice of life, of course, this is a great option. There's so many great shows out there, but this one, it hits that comfy, cozy place that a lot of people look for in a different way. Because the characters are such broad ages, it's relatable in different ways than normal. Being like, oh, I personally relate to that like right now. Instead, it's like, yep, I fucking know somebody like that, or I remember back when I was that age, or whatever. Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't even have to be like a girl to relate to this. Like, just even you and I as being boys, like we absolutely relate to like these children, like because they're at that age where like gender doesn't even really matter. It's just like
exactly. You're just doing a chill.
They're just kids doing
a chill,
being friends or whatever. That's all there is to it. Yeah, good show. It was fun. Sure. Yeah, I liked it a lot. So, anyways, with Repeat, they went through the entire first year again with season 3. I assume that they're going to do the same thing, but who fucking knows? Oh yeah, that is such an interesting concept though, because I remember like watching for a bit and I go, what the fuck am I doing? And then I really quickly captured like, no shit, like what they're doing is just showing different days of the same year we've already saw last. And I go, that's great because, you know, we could have seen like days that are weeks apart or whatever, and there's stuff in between. And I go, nice. This is such an interesting way to keep your characters the same age or keep them together. Because like if say they would have continued like, okay, next year, the season 2 is like they're a year older. Season 3 comes through, they're even a year older. They get closer to graduating from school or having to go somewhere else and breaking up the group. And
they don't have to worry about that.
And I go, no, if they just repeat the same year and show us different things that happen, and then we go, oh, nice. I just have to figure out where that happens chronologically if you want to, because it also doesn't even really fucking matter.
Yeah. And what a good idea for the name of the second season. Just calling it Repeat. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that concept of it. And I was confused at first too, because I'm like, wait, so she's getting her recorder now? Okay. Did I accidentally watch season backwards? 2? Yeah. And so I looked it up really quick, just to make sure Crunchyroll didn't accidentally mislabel or something, right? And of course they didn't. They did a good job with that.
Thank God.
But the first thing that I found was somebody made a list. They're like, hey, even though it's totally unnecessary, here's the order in
to
which
actually watch them in.
Which I thought was so funny. They're like, look, man, I know this doesn't matter at all, but I fucking did it. God. You can tell there are like more leaves in the ground in this one, so it's like closer to fall than that last episode was. And I had a really thorough breakdown of why they were in that order.
I really respect that. That makes me want to watch it more.
You pay more attention to like, oh shit, that's where this is. But then if you watched it in that order, like I think that's pretty fun. That's cool that they're doing that.
I want to wait for season 3 to come out because if they do it again, they put them like now then I have to fucking watch them. And I go,
I'll let you know.
It's like, but where did they get the money for the recorder, right? Like, you know.
But I thought that was really cool. Also, most of the episodes, it was just like episode 1, season 1, or episode 2, season 1, fucking episode 1, season 2, episode 1, season 1. Episode 2, season 2, episode 2, season 1, and then it gets to like episode 8, and it's like episode 8, season 2, episode 9, season 2, episode 8, season 1, episode 10, season 2, and that's where it gets a little bit back and forth in a different way.
Like he's nitpicking then,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Like, just such a fun little thing that they still tell it all in the same order. They're all going through the same year. And it matches up, and it can fit in between the other episodes, and it's just cool.
Really smart. Never seen anything like that. Super respect it. Super appreciate it. Think it's really good.
If season 3 has Goo's backstory, you want in?
Yeah, I'd be down.
All right.
Yeah, like we see his like fucking struggle. You know, a lot of shots also are like they're like the show's really
it's beautiful.
The pace is there's bits where like we're just watching like shots of the village or the town for like what feels like 2-3 minutes, even though it's even technically not that long. But you go, it does a really good job of making you feel like, wow, the pace that life goes at here is just so much slower. It just reminds me a lot of like when I go to Mexico. I go, it feels different. Here I feel like there's hustle and bustle. In Mexico I go, yeah man, we'll get around to it when we get around to it. No big deal. And that's how the show made me feel. I go, it's a country life. It's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. No big deal.
We're on island time now, man.
Yeah. Island time, exactly.
That kind of shit.
Cool, man.
It was a great show. I recommend it to people. If you're looking for a slice of life, check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
I already said it, but still.
Cool. So that's the show. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Kengan Ashura, which is on Netflix, right? So we got to see some stuff from Pony Canyon when we were at Anime Expo. It's funny because
this isn't the very scary show.
No, it's not the very scary show. What's funny is that like I think I came here and I just got here and we were talking about it. And you're like, next week let's do that. You go, and then you go, hey man, like you think it's gonna be like amazing if you watch any of it? And I go, no, I don't know what it's gonna be. And you go, it is made by that fucking Attack on Titan guy. We're like, yeah, I guess it is. And he fucking hates talking about Attack on Titan.
Who knows what's gonna happen, man?
Kyle, who's Lesser Kyle, who's my friend, was the one that told me about this manga before, and he loves the manga. Apparently, the manga is just it's just a brutal fight fest, right?
Well, I'm sure what happened, like we were talking about this too. I'm like, well, the director could have had like no real input on Attack on Titan, because it's all like laid out before you.
He could have been like, yeah, we should maybe do this anime or whatever, and they go,
oh, that's fucking genius.
Good call, man.
You're the head. You're the director.
You're in charge now. And he goes,
shit, okay,
I'm just going to copy this. Is that cool? So Kyle was telling me that he really likes the manga, and then he told me that he was watching the anime, and he goes, he's kind of on the fence for it right now. And we can talk about that next week. I don't really want to get into it.
Sure.
Because why would I tell you about that now?
Yeah, we don't know much about it. Long story short, it might be good. It might not be. Find out next episode on Instant Ramen Podcast.
That's right. So that's what we're going to be reviewing next week. Should be a time. Anyways, if you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TurvyTops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud or YouTube. Hey, Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter. Tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast Benefit.
You could shoot us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you think the best slice of life is, or, if you've lived that country life, how does Non Biyori compare to you?
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I personally, now that I have a Vive and whatnot, and I've collected a bunch of games, thinking about streaming some stuff. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and fucking shoot me some tweets or emails or smash that motherfucking like button. Yeah. Do some of that shit.
Cool. This is back from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.